Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Spike. I'm Brian the Grizzly here. We got Alec, we got Mark. So we got Bears, the Eagles, and the Washington fan walks to the bar, and only one person walks out. Of course, it's a Bears fan because I kill everybody else. But how's it going for you guys?
Outside that egregious joke, pretty good. You know, it's a fantastic morning.
Mark, no, can't hear you.
Apparently, I'm still in a bar.
Oh.
I'm still in the bar.
Can't hear me?
He's having a good time.
Never.
You're good. I hear you now. You're good. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all the NFL news. Everything kind of came out. The breaking news we had from Adam Schefter about the Giants losing their cornerstone player Dexter Lawrence for a 2026 lottery pick. It's a lottery ticket, you know. Hoping that you can really hit hard on that. I wonder, is it worth it? I mean, having 3 years of Dexter Lawrence, is that exactly what you need? Is that what you want? The deal seems to be done. He's already, made it through. Went through all his physical. We're not going to have a Max Crosby deal going on. So that's already happened. But what do you guys think? Is this good?
I think so. Even though I think pass rush would be a great need for them, I think that Dexter Lawrence is a great way to start your interior defensive line. And, literally, what does my team believe in? Building inside out. So start with your interior alignment, move out to your edges, and forward from there. So I think it's a great move for them. If anything, just the Giants have more capital come draft, which is fast approaching us, by the way.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
I don't know. It's weird that our teams in our division can't seem to keep their top defense players. They just want to leave. First the Cowboys with Parsons. Now you got the cornerstone, Dexter Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from a Giants standpoint, I think it's a good trade for sure. Get the 10th pick. Now you have the 4th and the 10th pick?
Mm-hmm. For the 5th and 10th pick, I think it's the 5th and 10th.
Which scares me even more now because now they can get Jeremiah Love with the.
Mm-hmm. Although at that point, do they really need to get Jeremiah Love in a league that believes more in passing than running? Because you already have 2 quality backs. Now you'd have 3. How would you cycle 3 of them?
Because it's not quality. Jeremiah Love.
Who's the quality? What? You said the Giants had 2 quality backs?
Cam? Hello? Cam Scat?
I mean, Cam, I have maybe 1 season left in the tank, Cam.
Well, what do you mean, Cam? He just started.
He's the dude that runs through the wall with his head straight out. No, we're not going. Bro, Scatterboo is a second guy. He's a good second guy, but he's a second guy.
Who's their second quality guy?
Well, Tracy? No, Tracy would be their second guy.
Tracy.
I just do not see them.
Down back at best.
Hey, again, I just do not see them needing to get Love. They have other things that they could get when they have running backs that they trust.
I completely agree. They shouldn't get Love.
No, he doesn't agree. He hopes.
Oh, no, of course he does.
Of course he has nothing to do with believing. He just doesn't want it to happen.
You're being a little snake. You're like, yes, no, I agree. Please don't take him from me, please. I need some love in my life.
Quality backs, they don't need a 5th one. Singletary, that guy is a number 1 all the way.
I don't think Jeremiah Love will be there as an option, honestly. I believe that he's going by Tennessee. He's going to be going number 4. Tennessee's going to grab him before anything even happens. So, unfortunately, for the Giants, I don't think Jeremiah Love is going to be the guy. I think that you're going to have to look. I hope they actually look offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
And then now 10th, you look defensive line. You definitely don't need edge rusher. You don't need edge. Or maybe you do the 10th pick. You just best overall person.
There's one thing I can promise you the Giants aren't going to do is look at the offensive line.
That's not what they do.
Probably not.
They did it one time and they completely whiffed on it. So they're like, Devin Neal. And they go, oh, this was a turnstile.
But I think it's a decent trade. It's a good trade for Cincinnati.
They said it was a package including the 10th overall pick. I think there was more to it.
So here's the compensation. I have that right now. So compensation update. Now that he has passed the physical and the trade is official, newly acquired defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence is signing a 1-year, $28 million contract extension with the Bengals. So in the end, Lawrence gets the trade he wanted would be contractually tied to Cincinnati for the next 3 seasons. The compensation is pretty much just the pick.
Okay.
Which is kind of crazy. I thought so they're sending the 10th pick to the Giants. And they had to restructure the contract. Or
defensive tackle though, that's still not bad.
I'm okay with that. I mean, for an all pro, not a Pro Bowl, an all pro defensive tackle, you get 10th pick.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing that it's the biggest one they had. This is by far the best trade package that anyone that offered. Most of it was back in first round, early second round picks.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, because it was probably teams who were really good, who were like, "Oh, we're defensive tackle away."
Yeah.
And they were like, "Here you go," and they were like,
"Yes, this is all we're going to give you guys. No one's going to give you more than this."
They're like, "Really? We don't have the 10th pick now, and we just get defense players."
Well, you need defensive players.
They do need defensive players. You're right, but they need offensive line for that poor guy. He's gonna die. He's gonna be the next Andrew Luck. He's been hit more times than Andrew Luck at this point in his career.
Yeah, but Andrew Luck was running the ball. That's the only difference I have. Andrew Luck was actually doing something.
That is true.
So how do you think this changes the draft? I want to know from you guys. Does it change the draft? Does it push defensive tackles down?
I think, truthfully, it shakes up just a little bit. I don't think that shakes up the D tackle too much. If anything, I think it just makes teams that are now looking 11 through, let's say, 20 are now looking at like, okay, people are making moves. How can I move up further to get in front of maybe my rival and whatnot? Because that's what the Giants essentially did. The Giants essentially just jumped the Commanders because they have probably a guy in mind that they want at 10. Whether it's Love or not, I think it's going to make teams between that start to think maybe we should start thinking about moving up a little bit for pieces that we might actually be able to get.
Commanders are going to be because they're 7 anyway.
And they're already above us at 5.
Yeah, so they were already at 5. They already had 5th pick. So the Commanders are at 7. And
never mind then.
I think what it does, and I want to get to you guys' comments in a second. Well, actually, Mark, I'm sorry. You can tell what you think first, and then I'll say what I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it affects the draft too much. Like, I didn't see any defensive tackles going until like the later part of the first round anyway.
You're looking at 23, 25, that's what it is.
And I mean, it might change kind of what the Giants might do with the 5th pick, though. Because, I mean, if you got how many edge rushers up there, obviously if Love is there, they could be like, we can still get an edge rusher at 10. Or maybe they go, Sonny Styles, because they're like, we can still get an edge rusher at 10. Or maybe they go receiver now at 10.
Oh, that's very possible.
I have a hard time believing that. It makes sense, though. I just have a hard time believing it.
I mean, we all say year in and year out they should go offensive line, and they never do. Maybe they do go offensive line now. Maybe they go.
Come on!
Offensive line with the 5th pick now.
It's just like the Seahawks for years when they had Russell Wilson. What offensive line? We don't need offensive line. We've got a mobile quarterback. We'll be fine. Also, good morning, Bev. Welcome to the show.
So.
All right. So Anthony says random Giants getting 10 and 5 means they're getting Love. I don't think Love's going to be there. I really don't think Love's going to be there. I think Tennessee's going to grab him at 4.
See, receiver.
I think is going to happen. I think Tennessee's going to get Love. I think the Giants are going to get someone like Caleb Downs, who's probably the best player in the draft, right?
You don't know what the Giants are doing, okay?
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so just I think they get
You're
Jeremiah
getting
Love.
Sonny Styles, so Saleh can have his middle linebacker to run his defense. Okay.
That makes no sense at all.
They got a young back in Tajay Spears. They got a veteran in Pollard. They got quality backs.
No,
By Alex's defense, they have quality backs.
Yeah.
So
They're not the best backs in the league, but
they're not
definitely
quality
can do
at
their
all.
job.
If that's quality, it's great value quality. But
Hey, I have
It's
both of
terrible.
them on my fantasy team right now. How dare you?
Exactly. Defend them, Mark.
No,
And Spears was available, and I was like,
that's
well,
not
I
a
might
good
as well pick him up.
Mhm.
But if I see Love going 4, I see the Giants going Downs maybe at 5.
Mhm.
And then at 10, the question is, do they go smart and get the guy out of Miami, the offensive tackle out of Miami, or they do stupid and go get Jordan Tyson as we see here? You know, I think Brady might be smarter and think that they go Jordan Tyson. I think they should go. What's the Malgua? What's his name? Oh my god, I got to try to look it up.
I'm terrible with names.
The tackle.
The Francis. You know, that makes, if they get Francis Malgoa at 10, and they get Caleb Downs at 5, along with getting Dexter Lawrence, that seriously works. It helps out a whole lot. And that Giants team, with the coaching staff they have, you have to remember what coach they have now, right?
Yes,
it makes sense. It kind of goes that the direction that they want to go. They build it in the inside out. You know, they get the safety, because that's what they did before with the Baltimore Ravens. This just makes sense.
I can see in 2 to 3 years that they actually are being a playoff team. The way the Giants are making moves now feels very smart, but I like to think of it as how the Commanders started off last season during the offseason. They made some good moves. They were doing the right things, but things fell apart due to injuries and risking your star quarterback. What I think Harbaugh will do to change the culture for the Giants, even though I'm an Eagles fan, is this year, it will definitely not be a year where like all the pieces are there. I think within the next 2 to 3 years, they would have continued to build up what you are saying. And at that point, they can actually look like a playoff team because they actually have the right coach there. They have the right team there.
With Dexter Lawrence, along with that defensive line, right? So, I mean, losing Dexter Lawrence, so you lose it, but they have a defensive line. They have edge rushers there. They can put another placer. They can go ahead and draft the guy later in the draft. So they can replace some of that stuff from the outside instead of the inside, right? Yes. And then they can go ahead and draft an offensive tackle at 10. If they do those things, maybe that looks good. Maybe they're okay. And it even makes more sense to go offensive tackle at 10 if they do get Jeremiah Love. Let's say that it happens and somehow he falls.
Sure.
Makes even more sense then.
Oh, yeah. Well, at 10, then sure. I can see that making more sense for them. But again, I just don't think the Giants team are quite a threat yet. I think they need a healthy Neighbors. They need a healthy Cam. They need Jack Starr to not get hurt this season. And I think if all those things piece together, you're looking at the following season where they actually could be a legitimate threat for the NFC East, which they haven't been for some time. So it's, it's right around that time where the Giants start looking good for 2 or 3 seasons, and then they go back to being the Giants. So,
why are you talking bad about the Giants like they haven't had more Super Bowls than you? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're even going with.
Market chart, all right? It goes up some years and it goes really downhill for a while. Then we look good a little bit. We go back down. Well, right now they've
been really better over the last 30 years. They've been better longer than you have.
They've been better than longer than us. It's really just from 2000 to 2010.
That's true. That's why you said Jordan Tyson. That's exactly true. They said I had dinner with him. So, but everyone has dinner with everybody. I just don't think it's smart to get 2 wide receivers when you already have one great one already. So it just makes no sense. But that's why the Giants are there. Yeah, they're not the Cowboys. But they are the Giants. So we don't know what the hell they're going to do.
It's going to be interesting what they do, especially with Cap, coming the next 2 to 3 years as well, especially if they did something like that. Let's get a bunch of wide receivers. Like, that's just kind of crazy to me. But we'll see.
Do you expect any other moves before the draft? Any other big moves before the draft?
I don't know really what to expect before the draft. I know that you have a claim that on draft day, AJ Brown will be traded.
It looks like you guys are now doing that. Everything is going towards the point of you guys trading AJ Brown, and even AJ Brown is saying, "I'm going to be drafted. I'm going to be traded on draft day."
Yeah. Well, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't believe that. Another rumor that I've heard that was interesting was that the Eagles will make a draft day trade, but it won't be AJ Brown. It'll be Jalen Carter that they trade away to the Browns and a pick for Myles Garrett. That's what I've heard in the rumor mill now, which is interesting. You know? He's laughing about it because he's like, damn.
It's the most ridiculous.
Why didn't my parents think of that? That's crazy.
You're ridiculous.
Hey, I didn't say it was my
rumor.
My God. I'm saying
that
the rumor mill is that the Eagles are going to make a day trade, but it's going to be for Myles Garrett and give him Jalen Carter and a pick.
Oh my goodness!
Which isn't terrible. To be honest, Jalen Carter is a stud. Definitely one of the better, if not, one of the better interior linemen. Sounds like you just think that old jokes. Like I should go to a comedy nightclub.
The most ridiculous thing I ever heard.
Hey, that's not my claim. That's just what I've been hearing.
It's the dumbest thing I've heard, and you say it for.
But yeah, for Myles Garrett, so they get a pick and Jalen Carter for Myles Garrett.
One pick and Jalen Carter for Myles Garrett, and a $42 million cap hit. Oh my God! Wow.
That's just what I've been hearing. You know?
Oh man. Okay. I'm not even gonna do anything else with that. I heard the Chiefs were trying to move up. I did hear the Chiefs are trying to move up. Yes, I've heard that they actually have a decent one, but they're trying to break into the top 10. So if it's a top 10 team that wants to trade that back down to about 15, 16, they're going to be a team that's going to attack there. I've heard that. I've heard that Alex Highsmith might be on the move from the Steelers.
That'd be very smart.
Alex Highsmith could be someone that most teams that I'm hearing in the NFL are saying that they expect him to be available. So these are things that actually might happen. How much cap it? It's actually, I think the cap hit, don't quote me, is almost $50 million.
Still would not be the worst this year.
It literally would be. It literally would be the worst. For Jalen Carter and one first-round draft pick, do you understand that they've offered 4 first-round draft picks?
If I remember right.
They've offered 4 first-round draft picks. Okay. And you tell me one and Jalen Carter is worth
Howie Roseman, get it done, baby.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, honestly. Like literally the worst thing I ever heard. So I'm wondering about overall the mock draft. I think we want to do a mock draft on Wednesday before the draft on Thursday. We will kind of go with all the NFL rumor mills. I mean, I'm hearing the Cowboys want to move up to 6. And a lot of these mock drafts, you know, the Browns are going to trade back, and then the Cowboys will move up. I'm hearing that going to happen on draft day, depending on who's there. And I guess my question is, if that happens, because this is just on every site, who do you think the Cowboys are targeting?
Well, they did just pay their running back, so something tells me they probably wouldn't go running back. But I think
most of these things, Jeremiah Love is gone.
Right. I would say that it would make the most sense if you're going to trade up that much, even though I kind of believe in today's NFL, unless you truly believe that running back is going to be like the next, big name like Barry Sanders or like, Derrick Henry, if we're talking about more of today's time and whatnot. Unless you think it's going to be some generational talent at running back, or the next Saquon.
This is exactly what they think. They literally think it's the next Saquon. That's literally the player comparison.
The comp. So then if that's the case, if they truly believe that, then they trade up, and they're doing it for 2 reasons. One, they're doing it to screw over the Commanders, something that, again, it's totally common that our division has done so much to each other. We did that to the Giants with Devontae Smith years ago. And 2, it makes also sense because I forget the contract that they gave Williams. I think it was 2-3 years, something like that. that they give him. So, and I don't know if it was a lot guaranteed. So I think that they could definitely get Love and work Love in as starting out as the quote unquote backup, start the year, and then that year he becomes a starter. And Williams just there as the placeholder backup on third downs, because that seems to be what a lot of teams like to do unless they don't have a clear number one back. The Giants did that. The Patriots did that. So
that makes no sense for if the Cowboys are training up, they train up for Sonny Styles.
So you think Sonny Styles would go at 6?
If they're trading up, Sonny Styles is the person they're going to go get. They couldn't tackle anybody last year. Mm-hmm. The reason why they didn't make the playoffs, the reason why they lost all those games, because they couldn't tackle anyone. So you get the guy who's going to make all,
but also hurt. So
how long does it take? If you can't stop a run, then you have to.
No, you're right.
Put 8 blocks that put their corners on the islands, and they had 2 injuries. I think that's not the problem. The problem is stopping. Get someone to make tackles. They now have upgraded their defensive line again, right? They need someone who's going to make plays in the middle. I think Sonny Styles is going to be the guy that's going to be drafted if they're trading up, and they don't think he's going to be there when they pick at 11. It's 11 or 12, something like that.
11 or 12, something like that.
If you don't think he's going to be there, that's who you go get.
True, and they did switch to a 3-4 defense, so they got rid of a lot of guys that fit more of a scheme of a 4-3. So Sonny Styles could definitely fit into that role. So I definitely would not hate it. The real question is, what do you give up to move inside the top 10, almost the top 5?
So if you're going from 12 to 5, I could see you having to get up a second rounder.
So your first and your second.
So your first and second to move up to number 5, number 6.
So would there be anything else that you would want to trade with? Because I'd actually would have to look it up. Who's at number 6 currently?
It's the Cleveland Browns.
Oh, Cleveland Browns, my bad.
Yeah, and it's the perfect team for them to trade with right now. You need explosive linebackers. So I think that the Cowboys go ahead, trade up to 6. Cleveland Browns, Sonny Styles just makes a lot of sense. Then that kind of puts Washington in the bind. And I think Washington then says, I wish I could ask Mark right now, because I think Washington goes Carnell Tate.
I could see them do that, or if they wanted to trade back a bit because their main guy was gone, I could see them also trading back as far as with the Chiefs going back to 9. Maybe you think that wide receiver will be there 2 spots later, and then you get some picks for it. I could see something like that happening as well.
It depends on if you have Jordan Tyson and Carnell Tate on the same level. Then you can go ahead and trade back to 9 if you want to. But you're not going to get that much. You're going from 7 to 9.
No, of course. It's just more
a round pick. You're getting a 3rd round pick right now.
That's the thing, though. When it comes to trading, once you're outside of the top 5 picks, once you get to 6, 10, 11 through 15, it's all kind of relative of if you're trading back a few spots, you're not doing it purely because of, the guy that I didn't get or wasn't available for me. You're doing it because the extra draft picks, you're hoping to build up the roster. You're looking to build up the team better. But also, data shows that typically in that 5, pick range that is not in top 5 picks, the relativeness of them hitting / being a superstar, they're all very close to each other. The relative data means that there's not much of a difference between picking at, let's say, 11 and 14, for example.
It's not that
unless
big
there's a specific guy that
that's hard.
Yeah, exactly. So
those aren't make sense.
It's just for that kind of move, Yeah. So that's what I think when it comes to that.
So Anthony says the Titans and Browns could trade down.
Yeah.
I don't think the Titans trade down. I really believe Jeremiah Love is going to the Titans, because I know they know at 5 he could go to the Giants. At 7 he could definitely go to Washington. If Jeremiah Love's there for 7, Washington's go grab him. Okay. That's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In my estimation, I don't think he's going to be there. And I see he says Washington is going to draft Downs. I don't think Downs is going to be there either.
No, Adam Peters came out and said that they will not be drafting down.
I don't think he's going to be there. And because you have all this injury worries about Downs right now, That means the Giants are going to trade him. Are going to draft him. That means the Giants are going to draft Caleb Downs. That's just what is going to happen. But that's I think Downs, then Sonny Styles, and I think Washington goes Carnell Tate. I feel Ohio State has been so good to Washington with the receivers that they get. They go Carnell, and I believe that's why they haven't signed Brandon Ayuk yet. Now I want to hear what Mark thinks about that.
I think it depends on who's available.
Okay, if Carnell Tate
will be available.
Is there?
I know,
and he will. And Ruben Bain Jr. is there.
There you go.
Which one do you go with?
We go Ruben Bain Jr.
That's what you need more help on. I agree with Anthony. That would definitely be great.
I heard, despite all the signings we had, if one of the top tier edge rushers are there and Jeremiah Love isn't, we'll probably go edge rush.
Would that surprise you?
Imagine
if you don't go Ruben Bain Jr.
Well, you did hear about the news that came out about him, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't think you're going to draft him. But
the family of the deceased already came out and said they wish nothing but the best for Ruben Baines. Like, I don't think it was just an accident. I don't think it was anything malicious or he was doing anything wrong. I think it was just an accident.
I hear you, but it seems hard. And I feel like you guys have been doing a really good job.
And it happened his sophomore year.
No, and what this didn't blow up. This didn't
blow up.
Someone
was like, what kind of voodoo magic is someone using that this happened his sophomore year and we're just not here?
Someone is just it's all for the draft drama. That's all.
They're like in a day and age where something happens almost immediately, everybody knows. How on earth are they able to keep this under wraps?
It's just clickbait at that
you
point.
Saying voodoo is exactly why I think he's going to New Orleans.
That's funny.
That's exactly why I think he's going to New Orleans.
I'm pretty sure the Commanders don't give Love if he's there.
The Saints were the ones who released the information. Yeah, nobody get this guy.
So people waiting for the 49ers to release Brandon Ayuk. I think that because the 49ers believe that they could get something for a trade.
Probably be on draft day. One of the draft days.
I guess something. I don't know what exactly.
5th, 6th rounder, maybe a 6th rounder, something like that. If someone wants that, hey, you want to take a chance on this guy? Why would they not? Why would you release someone that you know that people need?
I would definitely give a 6th rounder for IU for sure.
I mean, for a chance to be a number 1 guy. Yeah. News is news. There was news about Jalen Carter in school. People changed. No. Jalen Carter hurt himself. Jalen Carter was going to be a top 3 pick in the draft. And the news pushed him down to 9 and 10.
Which is, again, why Ruben Bain could riskily fall.
Yeah, the Eagles were like
8, 9, or 10.
We'll take it.
He really could. Exactly.
Well, the Eagles traded with the Bears, and the Bears gave.
And guess where the Saints are? The 9th pick, 8th pick.
I thought they're the 8th pick.
They're the 8th.
And that's what I'm saying. Right after you, I think that they're doing it to try to swing Washington for getting Bain Jr. Because I think he's dropping. I'm telling you, I think this is what's going on. I feel like that's what's happening. And then remember in our mock draft, I said Jordan Tyson over Carnell Tate because I think Jordan Tyson has the higher ceiling. Carnell Tate is the better product right now. He's the better product, and Ohio State has been better overall. And honestly, if any of these people fall out, I wouldn't be surprised. Any of these people.
And Love, and honestly, Love. Apparently, Braden was telling me because he follows Cardinal stuff. Love might not be there for the Titans at 4.
I've heard that too.
I heard the Cardinals might not be willing to trade down once, but possibly twice, so they can get Ty Simpson in the lower division. I've heard that the Cardinals might trade. So because they're looking at Arvell Reese, and they're thinking that they will go Arvell Reese or Ruben Bain Jr. I can hear the Cardinals dropping down
and saying whatever. We'll still get our guy regardless, and we'll get more picks. So yeah, no,
unfortunately,
it's gonna be real hard for you guys to get Jeremiah Love. That's why
Anthony, no,
Word
this is
on the
not a
street
deep
could
wide
be the
receiver class. That will be
Cowboys.
next year. Next year's will be very deep in wide receiver.
What'd you say, Mark?
Cowboys are apparently one of the teams talking to the Cardinals.
So the Cowboys want Sonny Styles
because they got 2 first rounders.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonny Styles is going to be there for their second, for their first. The lower
Sonny Styles is, if you're outside the top 10, you're not getting him.
Yeah,
that's correct.
He's out. I think I get
unless some sort of news breaks.
I think you're the one that said that, but he's not going to be there outside the top 10.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's Sunday, so like we're not going to hear breaking news, unless you have video of someone with a gas mask on with smoking weed right going into the draft.
Imagine that happens the day before the draft. News breaks about something that he did his freshman year, and suddenly people are like, "Oh, he's got character issues." Drop him down to like number 8.
Not gonna happen. Okay. All right.
Anyways, so speaking of draft, though, we have some D tackles to talk about.
Yeah. So because we had this Dexter Lawrence stuff, I wanted to talk about other defensive tackles and see what we actually have. So, no, okay, because Mark wasn't here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about first
Kayden McDonald.
Kayden McDonald, real quick. Guys, awesome. Kayden McDonald is awesome. So I'm just going to let you guys know that. I'm going to go ahead and play and just let you watch this. I
don't know how State not win the national championship when they have like the top prospect.
I have no every clue.
Fucking position except for quarterback.
Dude.
Best safety, Ohio State. Running back, Ohio State. Receiver, Ohio State. Linebacker, Ohio State.
Ohio State.
It's the same reason why in the NFL there are some teams that are super stacked, but they don't make it to the big dance. It just happens sometimes.
It's day.
They didn't play. They didn't play their best
the Eagles
football
last year.
It's day, guys.
Excuse you. Weren't y'all supposed to be in the playoffs last year? Oh, it was injuries, I swear. And then you risked your star quarterback. Okay, RJ3 2.0. Settle down.
Nope. I said I wanted 9 wins last year, which we didn't come close to getting, but
yeah. Anyway, so Kayden McDonald, y'all get to watch that. But his measurements actually are pretty nice. His weight, over 325 pounds. That's crazy. Definitely a beast there.
Look at this move. Look at this bench. Look at his hands. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah. Bro. He overpowers people. I mean, there's a reason why he did 27 reps on the bench. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't do more.
That's
he ran a 40, but honestly, no one really cares too much of it if a D tackle is 40 that much. Although it was a 5.15, which is pretty fast for that kind of big of a guy. His arms was 32, so that's a 31 percentile. His hands are 9 3/4. That's 42 percentile. His wingspan is 78. That's 33 percentile. So all in all, he obviously is the best D tackle coming out of this draft. There's a lot of people that he can be compared to.
He's definitely up there, but don't rule out the dude from Clemson.
I'm not going to tell you that he's the best defensive tackle yet. I'm not. As we go on, I'm going to tell you that Peter Woods might be the better dude because of Kayden McDonald is a small. Yeah, Kayden McDonald's a smaller dude. As you said, 6'2", 326 doesn't sound small, right? But he said small hands, short arms, not big wingspan. His 40s on the 5.15, 27 reps on the bench. I am not I'm an old man right now. And right now, today, I could do 31, 32. So when you're talking about NFL defensive tackle who's a monster, you expect more out of it. And I'm telling you that I'm not in love with everything from Kayden McDonald.
Don't sleep on the big boy from Florida either. Caleb Banks.
What is funny is that the guys that y'all are mentioning are also other guys that I actually do like. I do like Banks. I also don't mind Lee Hunter either. So those are just like 3 or 4 guys I generally enjoy.
Sorry,
it's Ohio State.
334. 6'6", 334. Now that's monster.
Big boy.
But I will say what Kayden McDonald's going to do. He's going to take any team who has a bad run defense, and he's going to make it a good run defense immediately.
He will.
You're not going to run up the middle with Kayden McDonald right there. That's just what it is.
No.
Yeah,
you're right.
He's going to pop up. He's explosive. He's not powerful, but he's explosive. He's going to pop up, hit the guy, move him out the way. He's going to stop almost all inside runs.
Have you noticed that though in the last like 5 or so years, Brian, that D tackle position has almost became more of a explosive, almost like I don't want to say an athlete spot, unless you're just some big freakish monster. It's like if you're not a big freakish monster, you're more about the explosiveness, the quick twitch. It's almost like you're a guy that can get sacked but also plug up the run nowadays. It feels.
Mm-hmm. I feel like so. He doesn't have this unbelievable motor all the time, and because he has shorter arms. As you get to the edge, he has a hard time reaching people. So like these are all issues when you start looking at him. He just doesn't have everything there. That's why he's not going to be a top, top 15, top 20 pick. I feel like he's going to slide out of the 20s because of a lot of these problems. So as you really look at him, I'm not sure. He's really good. But he's literally Ohio State. He's everything Ohio State is. Great talent, but something's not there.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think?
Well, I kind of already gave my opinion a bit on that. I do like the quickness of it. He can overpower people when he needs to. Overall, I don't know. I guess I'm in my boat for a D tackle. I like him if they're a little bit bigger in frame than I do about their quickness, though I do think some quickness can be pretty important. It just, I don't know. I think he will definitely be a first rounder. There's no question about that.
Could you comp him to someone like Warren Sapp?
Warren Sapp?
Exactly his comp.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, exactly his comp. He's like Warren Sapp. That's exactly
there's a name I've heard in a long time.
Not a bad comp. Just Hall of Fame.
Oh, it's a great comp. He's a great player to be comp too.
But they have similar builds.
Yep.
Similar play styles.
100%. Yep. That's right. He has those shorter arms, more compact, but he's very powerful, but very explosive. Doesn't have this unbelievable motor, which is kind of the problem with him. But yeah, I think that's exactly what we get. So, I like him.
They're not typical defensive tackle these days. Isn't that the same issue with like
that's the thing?
Almost every defensive
Davis coming out, Jalen Carter coming out. They're like, you're really good, but the motor just isn't always there sometimes.
Yeah.
But isn't that also kind of a coaching thing?
It's
a motivation thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I get it. It does fall on the player too, but sometimes I feel like the coach is responsible for getting his players motivated,
I agree. So,
but definitely McDonald is not on the same wavelength currently as some of those guys that we love to mention, like Dexter Lawrence, for example, or Carter, or really, he may be a blossoming player that comes out year 2 and really shines.
Close that hole fast.
I don't know.
But he's quick. My question is, when he's getting combo blocked, because you're a defensive tackle, you're this monster. He's gonna get combo blocked a lot. Is he going to make the right decisions for him? And that's I'm not sure. He uses amazing talent.
To the Giants, that's funny.
Who's they?
Oh. Yeah, Giants could always move up from the second round to the late part of the first round and get him if they really want him that bad, but I don't think that they're gonna.
I think Kayden McDonald is a 25 to 35 guy.
Pickens. Sorry.
Once they Pickens to move up to number 3 would be the move.
Pickens, huh?
That's interesting.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay with that.
Oh, I'm way more than okay with that.
So I guess all in all, what would you guys say is his strengths and weaknesses? Of course.
Pickens the hell out of it.
Depends on who he's getting it for. So strength-wise, he's strong. he's great in the center. He's an anchor type of guy. He's way more athletic as you see, he closed the gap a lot in a lot of plays. He's competitive as all hell, right? The weaknesses is he has short arms. He doesn't get to the edges quickly. He doesn't have an unbelievable motor all the time. He seems to lack motivation sometimes. He makes great plays, but it's not always the right decision for the team, right? When he gets combo blocked, he sometimes makes bad decisions. So those are the things, right? So we know what he can be, but what he steps up during big games. During big games, Kayden McDonald was a monster. So I don't know what you're going to get with him, and that's what puts him in the end of the first round.
To me, all of his shortcomings outside of the shorter arms, because you can't coach that any longer. But all the other stuff seems like you can coach him to be better on him.
No,
I mean, to me, that's a plus. You look at the raw talent that he has and the explosion, and you like that, you can teach the other stuff. I mean, it would have been better for the Giants if they had, like, Dexter Lawrence there to help them. But, didn't want to be there anymore.
So Kiper Jr. did have the Cowboys train up to number 6 for Sony Styles. Now we know it's not going to happen. All right, Mel Kiper said that, so we now know that's not happening.
Correct.
Yeah, you can't ever go by anything Mel Kiper says.
All right, so that's Kayden McDonald.
Someone who gets paid to do something so incorrectly all the time without fail.
He has answers on everybody. He just doesn't know what the hell's actually happening. But,
how often does his predictions for the draft ever, like Todd McShay, I feel like, is way better at predicting the draft than he is.
And why is Todd McShay taking such a back seat now? He used to. This is just a personal question. He used to be like the guy. What happened?
I don't know.
Because I mean, am I the only one that noticed that? I was like, what happened to Todd McShay? Like, he used to be it, and now he's not that guy anymore.
I think he was threatening Mel Kiper, and then they were like, "Oh, we can't have that." Pompadour Kiper, he's the main draft guy.
They said something about his hair, and that was it. It was Kiper, you're wrong, and then he didn't like it.
Nope.
All right. The next guy we're gonna look at is Peter Woods. I think he's a very interesting person to talk about. Let's look at the tape, and we'll go from here.
I like Peter Woods.
All right. Let's see what we got.
Boy from Clemson. All right. It's definitely faster. I'll tell you that much.
And so what are his measurables?
So for Peter Woods, he is 6. Actually, he's 6'2". The impressive things about him is that he ran a 4.75 40, and his shuttle was 1.67, which for a big guy is great, especially since he comes in right around 300 pounds. All right. His arm length is 31 1/4. That's the 15th percentile. So he's shorter. He's short. And same with his hands, 9 1/8, 16th percentile shorter. And his wingspan is actually worse than the other guy at 76 3/8. So he's at 11th percentile. So measurement wise, physically speaking, outside of him being faster, and he is stronger because he did do 29 reps on the bench. So he did do better there. He seems to be more of a quicker guy. So he can get down, probably has different styles of, shedding blocks, but not so much he's a short guy, essentially.
Okay. I want to have, his first step explosion is amazing. It's just whatever. It's off chain. He looks like he has pretty good flexibility. His hands, look at his hands. He's getting off guys. He's just throwing them around. He's quick to side, as you said. His shuttle is just ridiculous. He could play in probably 3-4 or 4-3 schemes.
I can see him 3-4 for sure. That drops a bit of weight, but yes, I can see that. And depends on what they want to use him for.
Here's the big thing for him. Okay, and in the combine, it was stupid. So I think he had the 40, right? We just talked about.
Yes.
But then he also benches 490 pounds. Okay, he squats 700 pounds. He has a 33-inch vertical.
So he's an athletic type.
And he's 300 pounds. 300 pounds of that frame. He's not fat. This guy is going to be good, and he's going to have
built.
And his motor is the exact opposite of what we got from McDonald. It's going to run. So to kind of go off what Mark was already saying, maybe he might be better.
His frame may seem smaller than the other guy, but I do agree. This is kind of what I think of when I think of an athletic kind of D tackle. Doesn't have to be the biggest guy there because he can still work off the blocks. He can still make up for the shortcomings of his size. Because again, he's got power and speed. That makes him pretty good as a D tackle who could also sometimes play on more of the edge side too, depending on formation.
If he's a 3-4, he could be a 3-4 defensive end too.
He very well could be, and that's why I think he'd almost would do better in that kind of formation, because 3-4 you can do so much more than a 4-3 when it comes to how you want to set up your linebackers, your defensive line.
So don't get Brian started.
You know how I feel about short arms. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I don't like it on the edge. I don't mind it inside. If you have shorter arms, you have to play. The shorter your arms are to me, the closer you have to be to the ball.
Makes sense.
Just
on both sides of the line.
Yeah, on both sides of the ball line. It doesn't matter. If you have shorter arms and you're at center, who the hell cares?
That's true.
No one cares if you got short. Oh, you can't reach. Then don't let him reach. He's a center. Like this is what if you had defensive tackle, he has short arms. I don't care. Can you get off the double team block? Long arms are not going to help you get off two people. Can your hand striking ability knock you off two guys and get through?
Does he have the tool set to be able to do different type of techniques, different kind of moves? I mean, right now, it kind of lagged a bit there, but you saw that he had two guys on him. And he literally used both hands, one on each guy, to push him. So, I love a guy who almost feels like he's got pure power, but he has athleticism as well. That feels almost like I'm not going to say a generational prospect. I'm not calling him that. But it makes him kind of he's NFL ready and could be a starting defensive tackle. And he could play 90% to 100% of snaps year one. That's kind of what I see from him. If he's got all that wrapped into one.
Agreed. That's basically what I'm saying, and that's why I really like him. For me, and that's when Mark said that, I was like, yeah, I 100% agree.
Well, because I was when you told us that what we were doing today, I did some research, and almost every place I went to had Woods number one.
It makes sense,
but they also had him at 6'3", so I don't know what's going on with that.
Here's the other problem about Woods is I feel like Clemson football has been going down, and that overall is hurting them a little bit. And no matter what we say about Ohio State's still always in the top 10 football games. So you see him a lot more. I think that's kind of what we're getting at a little bit more, just for me. Okay. All right. Next guy, Lee Hunter. All right.
Awesome.
That's 6'4" defensive tackle, guys. I like a taller guy from Mobile, Alabama. Played at Texas Tech. Like those guys. But let's look at the tape and see what we get.
Now, and while you guys look at that, let me tell you, I like his measurements a lot more. Definitely because Mays K is a bigger guy, So start off with 6'4", we love that. His weight being at 318, love that. That makes me feel like he's more, unless the tape proves it wrong, it makes me feel like he might be more of a 4-3 kind of D tackle. Because in 3-4, you have to kind of fit a certain kind of weight and a certain kind of speed to it. Typically, unless you have someone like Jordan Davis, which he did lose weight anyways. But his arm span is 33 1/4. That's in the 51 percentile. That's bigger. His span in total is 81, which is 70%. That is massive. That's great. Hands are 9 1/4, which is more, downwards of 21%.
Hands don't really matter as much as the 6'9" wingspan.
No, that part is what's crazy. Now, despite weighing again almost 320, keep in mind that McDonald weighs only like 7 pounds more. his 40 time is almost identical. It's at 5.18, and his 10 is at 1.79. So it tells me that he can move a little bit side to side. He may be a bigger guy, but that's fine. His broad was 100, which wasn't the best, and his vert was 21.5, which actually I guess is like the worst. But I don't know why he tested for that. But you know what? I guess he wanted to show off everything, and that's what we got.
Yeah, there's problems with him. Okay. He's the big guy that you guys see usually. Okay, he's not great side to side. Doesn't have great hip movement. He doesn't really have the great quickness. He's more of a nose tackle because he's not going. He has one pass rush move. I'm bigger.
Yeah,
that's
stronger.
His only pass rush move. He's like, I'm just bigger than all you guys, and I'm going to hit you. That's. When you look at him, you don't see him moving around like doing these great. He's not an unbelievable athlete. He's not extremely explosive. Just doesn't have very much lateral quickness. I mean, that's not what he is.
But for a guy that you need to just primarily just stuff the run, you don't care about that as much. You care about a guy who can literally plug up holes, take up 2 or 3 guys. That way, frees up other guys to go get to the running back or himself reach around and get him. That's what you need him for, not for anything fancy.
He's also something that was said earlier. You guys talking about play all 3 downs, 3 down guy. It's not. This is not a 3 down guy. This is a rotation guy.
That's true. I mean, where is he projected to go in the draft? He's supposed to be what? I
would say late second rounder. So I'm not sure exactly. Yeah. Where everyone has him, but
I could see him being like a 3rd rounder. Personally, but
I think because he's ranked like 4 or 5 and 6 in most boards. I think that we're talking about a middle second round, late second rounder. So that's just me.
And random question: when you look at tape on a player, do you look at the player or who they going against, like looking at a player going against Ohio State or Alabama team versus Arizona State or Utah? Me personally, as someone who loves to watch film, I normally just pick 10 to 20 guys that I will watch film on. When you're watching film, and actually this is great because my buddy RJ wants to get into watching film, and I wish Martin was here too because he would answer this question beautifully as well. But you look at not just highlights, you like to look at what their competition was. Who did they play that was a impactful game? That would be almost kind of considered like an NFL ready kind of team, So yes, like Ohio State, for example, would be a great one. But if they don't play someone like that, you have to look at what are the feats that they overcame? What are the tangibles of the player? You watch to see their strengths and their weaknesses, and you write notes about it. So we're talking about a corner. He's very handsy. That's a negative fact that could really hurt him coming to the NFL. If he's too handsy or he puts his hands too up high, or you watch his dip, his hip motion, you see, okay, how quick is he? What's the twitch factor? For every position, it's a little bit different. So when I watch film, I like to look at, who they're playing, if they played anybody that was worth mentioning, or what was their best games and what was their worst games and how did they overcome those things? Because I like to look at the good and the bad. So when they played bad, how did they have good reps despite playing bad? What did they do to overcome? And then that normally takes more than a day. That normally will take several days to really nail down a proper thesis of whether you'd grade them and from S to F or stars, 5 to 1 for that position. So,
okay. Mark, you want to answer that question?
Being Alex. I mean, I think the biggest thing that I agree with Alex about is I look at who they go up against most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I get more value out of a really good play against a really good team than I would a really good play against a team that's like Division II, Because I mean, it's good to see that against the Division II team because you expect it. But if he has the same kind of play, same kind of outcome against much higher caliber players, that to me translates better to the NFL. Because I mean, anybody could go out there against a horrible team and put up big numbers.
Sure.
It's interesting. I look at it a little bit differently. Just for me, I want to see your top quality. I want to see the best play you made in in that season. I want to see in every game the best play that you made. I then want to see in every game the worst play that you made. Right? Then I want to see you against great competition, and then I want to see you against poor competition. I want to see the difference in your game.
Yeah.
I want to gauge your ceiling and your floor, and then try to determine who you really are. Because are you a front runner, or are you a guy who's going to be competitive no matter what the hell's going on? I'm just going to be doing me all the time. I want a guy who's going to be doing him no matter who's in front of him. I don't care who you are. You're all pro or you're a backup guy. I'm still playing the same way. So I'm looking for those instances. So I want to see you versus a D2 team. I want to see if you're really making plays during that time. And then I want to see you against a guy who's going to be a top 10 player. How's the difference in your game and your level of competitiveness? So, what I'm looking at, I want to see good plays. So I don't mind seeing a poor team.
Yeah.
I don't mind seeing it. I want to see you jump off the screen, because there's a lot of guys who are good at making plays during bad games, but they're also good at making terrible plays, and putting your team in jeopardy in big important games. I need to know what type of player you are. Are you a team guy? Because with the guy we're going to talk about next is the guy in Cincinnati, Dante Corleone. He doesn't have these stats.
No.
But he's going to play a position for you that's going to allow everyone else on the team to be better.
Correct.
So that's why I always, I want to see both levels, not just what you did against Ohio State, but I want to see what you did against, Northwestern. I want to see both. I want to know who you are as a person before I put you into my team. That's just me.
Yeah. It sounds a little bit different and also a little bit similar. Seeing the reps, the good and the bad, I agree with that. And like I said, it also depends on the position too. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to look up certain players' actual film tape, especially if they're in a position that's not as sexy like quarterback or running back or linebacker or edge. Sometimes it's harder. That's why we look at highlights for you guys.
Okay. So we're going to talk about Dr. Corleone next. Just a
Perfect.
Background before we even get there. I will say he's had a lot of medical red flags. I believe it was 2025 he had an ankle injury, right? In 2022, I want to say he had a knee injury, and then I want to say he had blood clots in his lungs. He carries a lot of weight. So, but let's look at his play. He carries a lot of weight, guys. I'm just saying.
Well, I will say from his measurements, I am definitely worried. And when you tell me that,
look at that. Did you just see what he just did?
Injury list is kind of rough. But based off of what I'm seeing here, he would 100% be a nose tackle. His weight is literally 340 pounds. Big guy, stuff up right under center.
Yep.
The things that worry me the most is the fact that he's only 6 feet tall.
Yep.
That you're going against linemen that are going to be oversizing you, maybe not in weight, but in everything else. It's going to be really hard to see him do a lot of crazy shenanigans,
A lot of big guys are just big guys.
He's just stop the run.
Space eater.
Yeah. Exactly. And so I do actually agree as I look at this. His hands are 9.5, so that's not terrible. His arms is 31.78. That's not great. His wingspan is 77. That's really not that great. And his 40 is 5.1, which for that size actually is pretty nice. For that kind of big of a guy, that's kind of all they tested with. All in all, there's things that make me worried about his measurements, but the weight, definitely to see him be, this guy you plug in there who can definitely stuff up people so other players can make plays, But man, I don't know if I would draft him anywhere outside maybe the 5th round.
No,
I don't know.
So
I don't know if I could risk it.
This guy is a powerhouse. Just gonna let you know. He's a powerhouse. He's able to do a lot of crazy things. People love him. People love him. Teams are going to love because he, once again, against bad competition, you don't double team him. You can't stop him. That's what it comes down to. But he's a sloppy guy. You know, and you know, there are a lot of guys who eat into defensive tackle, and there's some people that just were born to be a defensive tackle. This guy's born to be a defensive tackle. Yeah. His quickness is pretty decent, and he makes plays. He just eats people.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just, that's what he does. So I think my opinion is that he's going to be drafted in the 3rd round. Early in the 3rd round. And I think a team would like him, and he could start at nose tackle for a team immediately. The question is, can he pass not just the physical, but can you meet all the requirements to be on the team? You know, are you going to be able to run? Are you going to be able to diet?
Mm-hmm.
You have to put him on a strict weight regimen immediately.
And also, it sucks he has all these injuries, because what does that do? It hurts college players the most, because that means what? Less reps. That means less time learning the proper scheme. That means less time actually being able to physically be always at your tip-top shape. Mm-hmm. And that just worries me for this guy, honestly. Mm-hmm. Having the injury list, plus, you know, not the best size outside of weight and strength, which is great. He's a pure power guy. That's cool. But
you know, understand that
a lot of
nose tackle, being 6 feet tall is actually a good thing in nose tackle, right?
Really? I always thought it was like the 6'2" range was like the ideal sweet spot for them.
What does you being a natural 6 foot powerhouse do? It gives you leverage immediately. You're not trying to go and stand up or do anything, be this big guy. Actually, being 6'6" and like defensive tackle is hard, right? Because you can't maintain leverage. You play high. At 6 feet tall and you're a powerhouse, you just move. You can just do stuff. You know, what I saw on the tape was that he didn't get moved off the spot a lot. He's there. You double team him, he's still there. Like you're trying to push him, he's still there. You can't train that, right? I feel like you saw him shoot his hands. He didn't make a lot of plays because he was quicker than everyone. He made plays because he punches hard as crap, and he's 6 feet tall. And I'm punching you because these offensive linemen are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", right? He's punching them right in their chest, in their sternum, and just saying, "Bow." So like, there's good stuff there. He just creates chaos in his movements. So you know, I feel like he has a decent motor. The problem is he's too fucking big.
It's too big, and some of those injuries can be concerning.
Yeah, but you what you do is you teach him how to eat, right? You put him on. You know, it's a dietitian. This is what you're going to do. This is what we want you to be big, but don't want you to be 350. We want you to be 340. If you're 360, you're not going to play. Period. You know, we're not going to draft you. You're not going to play at 360. If you come in, you're 340, you're 335, you're going to play all the time. If he's 335, this is a monster waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. It's kind of like who did the Bucks get last year? That one guy who was like built like a fridge, and he was strong as all hell, but they needed him to drop so much weight, and he couldn't get it done in time. You know, this guy better be able to do that, be able to drop the weight, show that he still got the power, but just get a little bit more quickness. Mm-hmm. That would be great.
Talking about the dude from Florida?
I believe so. That the Bucks drafted, and then they really wanted him so bad to work out, but just that he couldn't get enough of the weight off, and they were really scared for his health. So, you know,
we had a guy when I was playing college, named Big Chuck. Mm-hmm. Big Chuck came in, was 6'6", 375 pounds. Big Chuck ran a 4.7 240 out of high school.
No way.
Did you hear what I said? The measures I said.
Yeah, but
Big Chuck was a monster. All right. The problem was we couldn't get his weight under control. So anytime he played well, but he's out of breath. in 3 plays, he's out of breath. But he's such a big guy. Those are the guys that sometimes if you ever get their weight under control, monsters.
You're talking about generational. If he could get that down to be like 330, oh my God.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
would be so wow.
So when I look at Dante Corleone, I'm thinking of Big Chuck in my mind. Because Big Chuck ended up passing away, whatever, but totally different from the football thing. But you get guys like that, and you motivate guys like that. You can't block them. You can't. You're not strong enough. You're not fast enough. You can't stop him. You can't. Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm looking at Dante Corleone. So if he can get that together, man, this dude, sky's the limit. All right, let's go on. You guys can choose this one. All right, do we go Daryl Jackson Jr. or we go Dominique Orange?
Ooh.
So Dominique Orange is Iowa State. It's probably it's gonna be very interesting. He's very interesting.
You don't have Caleb Banks on there?
You want to talk about Caleb Banks? I'm fine with talking about.
He's really a defensive end at my point.
I'm fine with talking about Jackson Jr. just because this guy is 6'6", and it kind of goes off a little bit with what you're
opposite of
about.
what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's exactly what he is. He's the exact opposite for all that, all that crazy stuff. Yeah.
Right. Well, no. When I'm talking about like with Chuck that you mentioned, because he was 6'6", he said, just a big fierce athlete.
But Mark asked about Caleb Banks. Caleb Banks out of Florida could be someone we could talk about too. Sure. I think Caleb Banks is 6'6", and I think he at 6'6" to 327. I think he's going to be a 3/4 defensive end. But we could definitely talk about Caleb Banks.
Sure. I mean, if you want to.
So which one? I'm Mark. You choose.
Let's go with Orange.
Okay. We're going
Orange. Okay.
I like it.
All right. You can load it up, and he doesn't have too many measurements they tested for, but here's what we do know about the man. He is 6'2". So right around in that kind of spot that we're seeing for a lot of D tackles, at least for this draft, 6'2". Okay. His weight is at 322. So that's pretty nice. I can see him definitely be an interior / nose tackle with that kind of weight. His hands
really slow. If I remember, he just seems to be really slow.
He is slow. In fact, his 40 is 5.3. That is definitely not a guy that you are expecting him to get off blocks and chase somebody down. That's a guy who you run into the wall and he brings you down. His hands, though, are the biggest that we've seen so far out of the limited sample size we've used. He's at 10 1/4. Big hands. And his arm is 33 and 3/8. So he a big guy. He actually has quite a few games under his belt. He's done about 50 games, if not more. He has a good first step for his first size, but he's really just a strong anchor kind of guy who's really good with double teams and plugging up the gaps and whatnot.
I mean, he seems really quick off the ball.
Yes.
Look at his arms. That was a really good move.
That surprised
the shit out of me. Wow.
That was sexy.
Look at this move. Look how big guy. Look how fast.
You want to know why, Brian, you know why he did that? What's his number? 95.
95? No.
He challenged his inner Myles Garrett for one play.
Myles Garrett would have already made the tackle already.
Well, he can definitely play the run.
Yeah. That's why I think he'll be good for plugging up the gap. You run straight at him, you ain't going anywhere.
Look at his feet, man. For someone that's slow, he's moving. He's able to move side to side pretty good, man.
I could see this guy being a late second rounder, to be honest.
I like this, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the biggest thing about him is what I was thinking that against Iowa, they have probably the All-American, the best center in the draft, right?
Mm-hmm. Something like that, I think.
He destroyed them.
That's good. Again, that's something that, again, when you're looking at film, you care about stuff like that, not just stats, not just highlights. Ooh, what a great swat down. Ooh.
He was in the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Dude, he has no pass rushes. He's just faster or quicker and is better than people. He doesn't have. He's not a pass rush specialist. This is not what he is. You know, it looks like he penetrates a lot, and that can cause. That sounds great, right?
Yeah.
But what's penetration cause? Holes, cutbacks. He's going to have to learn how to play with that. And you see all his highlights are all against Iowa, right? So he destroyed them. He's one of the best centers in the game, and he destroyed them. You know, it looks like, you know, as fast as he is to the side, it looks like his lateral movement going from left to right is kind of not great. He's good in one direction. So if you need to go to the right, he's gonna go there. If you're going from the right back to the left, not as much.
No, I agree.
You know,
again, once he gets his hands on you, it's over. That's the thing. Like, once he stuffs that play, it's over. So
it seems that way, but yeah, but I like him. This is interesting.
Do you think he'll be a starter, like someone who could take 80, 90, 100% snaps right away, or do you think he'll be just a rotational piece to start out?
He's a rotational piece. It's not a question. He's a rotational piece, but I think he's a third round, really good defensive lineman. So, like, when you talk about this is a deep defensive lineman draft and stuff like that, when you hear those things, he's that guy that's the deep guy, because he's going to come in and he's going to push to start against someone no matter what, because you're not going to be able to teach what he can do. And you don't have your starting, you don't have this starting center, you're going to put him in front of him, and he's going to absolutely move him. He's going to make moves that are just going to be incredible. You know, he has decent length arms. He has really big, strong hands. You know, though he's slow on his 40, I saw his pro day. I'm looking at his pro day. He was a lot better. He ran a 5.12 on his pro day. That's a huge difference. Almost 0.2 of a second. Like, man, I like what I'm seeing out of him. I'm okay with him. He's definitely a nose tackle. He can play some 3 technique though too. I think, but overall, I think he's a depth piece, and I think that's what you're gonna get out of him. Okay. All right. So, who are the guys that we talked about today? We talked about Kayden McDonald, Peter Woods, Lee Hunter, Dante Corleone, Dominique Orange. If you guys were ranking them, how would you rank them?
Ooh, I think 1 and 2 probably going to be different. At least for one of us, it will be different. So, I could see Peter Woods probably being number 1. Him, and then McDonald 2. And then from there, I really like Orange. I would say 3 for him. Okay. I could see 3 and 4 is kind of flip flop for me. It kind of depends, because I kind of do like Orange, but I also like Hunter. Yeah, you know what? I'll just leave Hunter at 4. And then we looked at who else? We looked at
Corleone.
Then obviously, him. I think that's the last one. Then like him and last, just because all that other stuff kind of concerns me about him. You know,
the injuries and the weight makes sense.
Yeah, so he has to be last for me.
Okay. Mark, where you got him?
I don't know if mine's different than Alex. I definitely have Woods, and then McDonald 2. I think I'll put Hunter 3. And then Orange 4. And then whatever his name is.
Dante Corleone.
Corleone.
That's funny. I actually have all the same number. I have Peter Woods 1, Kayden McDonald 2, Lee Hunter 3, Dominic Orange 4, and Dante Corleone 5. Like, literally, that's just what it is. You know, when you're really looking at it, it's hard to not put Peter Woods number one, even though Kayden McDonald has the higher end talent. I just like Peter Woods more. You know, and these guys are these are defensive tackles, definitely. They're gonna be mixed in with other guys. Because as kind of what we've said before, there's other guys that are just defensive line players. Caleb Banks is one who's just a defensive line. He could play defensive end. He's probably gonna play defensive end. He can play 3 technique too. You know, the only reason he's not higher on defensive tackle is that he's 6'6". You know, he's so big, you know, that I really like him. I wouldn't be sad if the Bears drafted Caleb Banks, you know, because I think he could play multiple positions. You know, he's 6'6", 327. You don't get that. Like, so, you know,
Nope.
we didn't talk about him, but
Can't
he's not really a
Can't teach
pass
that.
rusher. He's not really a pass rusher. He's not really a defensive tackle, but he's a defensive lineman.
He's coming off an injury though, so
He is. But that's why I think he'll be available to a team in the middle of the second round. You know, someone I wouldn't be mad as my team. You know, if he's still there. You know, if you say the Bears go safety number one overall, you still get this. You know, get him there, and I would not. I hate it at all. And I think he's interesting. So yeah, there's a lot of guys that are like that are in between positions that we're going to see get drafted. And we're going to, I didn't really have him ranked this high, but he might fit the system better. So I think it's interesting. I think overall, looking at these defensive tackles, looking at them telling me that Dexter Lawrence is better than all of them. And if you want to need a defensive tackle, you go trade for Dexter Lawrence and you do whatever you need to do to pay him to be happy.
So you're saying the Bengals did a good job?
Yes, I will say
Yeah.
the Bengals. I think they did the right thing.
100%. I agree.
And that division is winnable. There's no one that scares me anymore.
Really?
I love Lamar Jackson. I like him way more than this guy over here, right? But without your coach, you know, without Harbaugh, I think they take a step back. When I look at Pittsburgh, they did a good job. They have no effing quarterback. You know, I look at the Browns. I mean, taking the Browns to the Super Bowl. Come on, let's be real. It's the Browns. They got Myles Garrett, and that's it.
Man, I don't know. Joe Burrow's trajectory at this point, and I hope that he, you know, can stay healthy, and I hope that that line can actually protect him, you know. But man, he's starting to look like a Joe Flacco a little bit. One tremendous season, makes it to the Super Bowl, MVP caliber numbers, and the rest of it just
Joe Flacco is still good, man. What you talking about?
I know. No, I know. But like, okay. So let me ask you this then. Would you want in their prime Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco when talk about their Super Bowl season?
I'll take Joe Burrow because I don't think we've seen his prime yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even know you see Joe Burrow's prime yet.
No. If someone learns how to freaking block for him and put some guys in front of him, Joe Burrow will tear up the damn NFL. He will just tear up the damn field. The Eagles, your team, would kill for Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow would throw for almost 5,500 yards if he had your offensive line in front of him. And that's your wavy offensive line that needs to get a younger still would be the best offensive line he's ever had.
Well, of course it would be. You could say that if you went on to the Lions offensive line too. Pretty much anyone that has a top offensive line should play better.
No, but Joe Burrow with those teams would kill. Like there's no doubt what Joe Burrow is. If I'm ranking quarterbacks, and if you're ranking quarterbacks and you had Joe Burrow outside your top 5, you're wrong. You just ask your favorite NFL player what Joe Burrow is, and they'll tell you, bro. They could block for him, bro. Just
wasted on the Bengals. That's what
wasted on the Bengals.
Yeah, no, he is wasted on the Bengals. That is true. If he actually went to an actual competent owner and competent team, then yeah, he would definitely look at possibly winning at least one Super Bowl, if not multiple. It's definitely possible. You know,
Yeah, I think he's just in the
Oh,
era
that being
right
said,
now.
it's not like Josh Allen's won any Super Bowls either.
Exactly.
I know. So like
everyone loves
you know,
Josh Allen, and they're getting on Josh Allen. But you know what? He hasn't gotten what Joe Burrow's gotten. He
It's
hasn't.
true. Joe Burrow's gotten further.
Although, again,
we're not here. Although he's once again going to try. He doesn't need any more
not
help.
Here to debate who's better, Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, because those two are also in the same kind of class. They're both in the same class,
though,
same
right?
metrics.
Isn't we kind of are because
they
they're
are
really
as far as like
it's like 2 and 3, right?
They are. Mm-hmm.
You know,
so
if you're going
that's
1, 2,
that's
3.
like a preference kind of thing. You're like, oh, would you rather have Josh Allen or Burrow? You know, it comes down to what do you want? You want a guy who literally will do everything, you know, run, pass, all that stuff? Sure, Josh Allen. You want a guy who is probably the best when healthy, if not one of the best pure passing guys who can make defensive linemen miss while he's in the backfield.
Let's zoom in on the key word there: win healthy.
Yeah, I know. It sucks that he's been hurt so much. It really does suck, you know, because I really like him a lot.
I have Joe Burrow's number 5 on my list. That's just it. I have Joe Burrow number 5 on my list, no matter what. Because when he's good, he's great.
So I guess a better comparison would be if we're talking about quarterbacks who are like pure passers, you know, who would you rather have
all around
prime?
All around.
Okay, well,
that's what you have
again, who would you rather have, Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow?
Matt Stafford.
There you go. See, I definitely agree with that. I think Matt Stafford, even how he is now, is still phenomenal. Still phenomenal.
What do you say, Mark?
Oh, Matthew Stafford.
There you go.
Matthew Stafford is just that dude.
He plays with one arm, so
he does. He is literally like one of the last of that era of hey, I'm
He's
a
got
pure
no
passer
backup.
through
He
and
still
through
goes out there every
who can look good on any team. You know.
All right, since you're asking this, guys, let's go ahead. Just give me your top.
Oh my!
Your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Before we get out of here, that's the last thing I want.
Jeez, Mark.
Mark, you go first, though.
Mark, you go first.
Well, I gotta go first
because I'm gonna get dogged on the most for my 5. So I want you to go first.
Well, we already know you're wrong. We come off it.
I'm always right.
That's just
the Bears fan. I'm always right. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
You weren't right this year. Lost.
What do you mean? All right. Were you right the last few years?
Yeah,
no, I don't want to hear it.
I was right.
Ooh, I wish we could have played in the playoffs, man. Oh, I really wish we could have.
No, we just beat you in the regular season. But go ahead, Mark. Well, actually, you know what? I'll be the gentleman. I'll go first.
Oh, okay.
Why, thank you, Brian. Such a gentleman.
I won't mute you. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. F all you guys. Patrick Mahomes is number 1. I'm tired of everyone talking about everyone else and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen and all that stuff. Patrick Mahomes is so good that you forget about him. That's how good he is. You forget how good he is because you just expect, oh, well, he wasn't as good as last year. Last year was the greatest season we've ever seen ever. Like, oh, it wasn't that good. It was only the 5th greatest league season of all time. He's getting worse. No, Pat Mahomes is number 1, and it's no question. Josh Allen is number 2, in my opinion. I gotta put Josh. His life is so good. He's made so many good decisions in his life. I mean, he had his first kid with Haley Steinfeld. I mean, the dude is just killing it. He's a giant. He has an unbelievable arm. He now has an MVP. He has 4 Pro Bowls. He's number 2 on my list. Number 3, I'm still going Lamar Jackson. F you, Alec. I'm still going Lamar Jackson. F you, Alec.
Copium is real with this one.
I'm going specifically you. I'm going with the guy who has the 2 MVPs, the 4 Pro Bowls, who has more MVPs than Josh Allen, that still has a chance to be one of the all-time greats. If he didn't have Patrick Mahomes in there, he would still be good. So I'm going to go Lamar Jackson, my number 3. I'm going to go. This might surprise you. With my number 4, I'm gonna go Matthew Stafford. Still, I know he's old. I'm still going Matt Stafford. I think everything about him is just special, man. I look at him and everything about him is special. I can't say anything else. And I still put Joe Burrow number 5. That's it.
Mark, what about you?
All right. So I agree. Mahomes, Allen, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Stafford 3.
I have no problem with that.
I don't either.
I'm going to go Joe Burrow 4, and then I'm going to go Lamar Jackson 5.
I don't hate on that either.
Yeah.
I don't hate on that either.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
there's me.
Because we know your opinion is almost wrong. We almost should just end the show now.
Yeah, let's just end it.
You asked the question.
We'll put your list in the uncredited scene.
Exactly.
Hold on. Mark, are you finished, though? Because I'm about to unleash on y'all on this, okay? I'm be entertaining as all. Absolutely dreadful. Dreadful. You will speak to my manager in court, buddy. You're done. But okay, so can't believe the days that I quote that guy. I can't believe it. Okay, so for top 5, number 1 is a no-brainer. It's Patrick Mahomes. Come on, multiple Super Bowls, multiple Super Bowl MVPs. Guy does things that are freak of nature that I feel like almost no one else can pull off on a daily. Last year, his stats proved better than the record showed. Everyone knows it doesn't matter how the Chiefs roster looks. When Mahomes is on that team, they're always going to be Super Bowl contenders. They're always going to be possibly even Super Bowl favorites. They just are. When you have a generational talent at a quarterback and you have a generational coach, that is a winning duo. That is why the Patriots dynasty was so good when you had Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together. Didn't matter who was on offense. Same could be said for the Chiefs.
It's going to be 30 minutes to get through his list.
So that's that. Hey.
I got my bone. I got my finger on the
edge.
Number 2. Number 2 will be Josh Allen. And I think it fits. Because unlike Lamar, he's also been to the bigger game. Are we done clowning around? Are we down? You're on mute, by the way. Anyways, so
yeah, 1 minute to do the rest of your list.
Nah. Josh Allen number 2 just makes the most
sense.
We're
over here justifying your list like we didn't say those 2 people were.
No, I know. It's because y'all want to dog on me and not give me.
We already said they were 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. That makes sense to me. Number 3 and 4, I could interchange only because I think it depends on how you want to look at it. Okay, so for right now, because of all that has been accomplished, again, 3 and 4 can change. I will say Matthew Stafford at number 3. I think that even with his older age, I love a pure passer quarterback who literally is just so perfect for the Rams. He has a great roster. He won MVP for crying out loud at his age. I can't diminish what he's done there. So that makes sense to me. Number 4 is going to be Jalen Hurts. Jesus. Why? Because the reason
I was waiting for him to pop up. I really was. I knew it was going to be.
The reason why for Jalen Hurts being number 4 is quite simple. The dude wins. It doesn't matter about the stats. The dude wins. He went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl twice and won once. Heck, he did better than Mahomes twice in Super Bowl. Also about a guy who also in the playoffs has a tremendous QBR. Talking about a guy who also was a runner-up for MVP. Talk about a guy who literally against all of the best quarterbacks in the league has a winning record against every single one.
I told you 1 minute. It's been 3 minutes now.
So with Jalen Hurts, not having him in top 5 is criminal. If your only argument for why Hurts should not be in top 5 is because of stats, then you should look at the stats that mattered most, which are winning and Super Bowls. He has 2 Super Bowl appearances, Super Bowl MVP. All right. I mean, he also took the Eagles as well to also win the division, NFC East, back-to-back, which hasn't been done in, over 20 years, Mark? All right? So Jalen Hurts has to be top 5, regardless of what people want to say about his stats. He has to be. He's a proven winner and a leader. And that's a quality against the best QBs that if he wins
I'm literally about to end the show.
And number 5, it could be a toss-up between these two. So I'll just say 5A and 5B, but I think Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow are up there.
Stop it. Get some help.
Depending on how you look at it, I think Joe Burrow has accomplished more than Lamar, and I think a healthy Joe Burrow is better than Lamar. But until he gets healthy, I'll say Lamar deserves being the top 5 for number 5 spot because, he's a dual threat. His arm strength has gone better. Like his overall passer has gone better. I don't think Lamar should not be in a top 5, despite his poor playoff, performances. And I know someone say, well, stats say good. Yeah, but so does winning.
You serious?
So does winning. And unlike Brian over here, who glazes Lamar, Brian also knows that Lamar Jackson hasn't done anything that's accomplishable outside of winning MVP twice. And one of those times, we both know that Josh Allen should have won that. He has not. He hasn't done anything else outside being a glorified Dak Prescott. He's just a glorified Dak Prescott. Because what do they both have in common? Amazing regular season stats. What else do they have in common? They basically have the same record in the playoffs.
Go ahead.
You just basically talked yourself into say Josh Allen shouldn't be 2 on your list.
No. Josh Allen actually, again, he's been to more championships.
Lamar Jackson has more.
It doesn't matter. Lamar can't win in the playoffs. I'm sorry. He had one good season. And that's
he has one more win than Lamar Jackson has.
Would you rather have Josh Allen or Lamar on your team?
He has say Josh Allen. That's not the point you made.
That's not the point you're making.
Breaking news.
I had Josh Allen as number 2.
Me too. Yeah. Breaking news. Alec is wrong. We getting out of here. 2 fingers. See you guys later.